I cheated on my husband with my boss because he made me feel seen. Now my daughter won't speak to me, and my ex's new wife sends her to therapy for my mistakes. I kissed him back. That's the part I can't undo. My boss leaned in during a late work dinner, and instead of pulling away, instead of laughing it off or making an excuse, I kissed him back. I told myself it was the wine. I told myself it was because he'd spent the last 3 months making me feel like I mattered, like I was more than just someone's wife and someone's mom. But the truth is simpler and so much worse. I wanted to. Ryan and I had been married for 11 years. We met in college, got engaged at 25, married at 27. We had a daughter, Lily, who was 8. From the outside, we looked fine. We looked stable. We had a house, routines, a shared Netflix account. But somewhere along the way, I'd started to feel invisible. Ryan worked long hours in finance. I worked in marketing at a mid-size firm. We'd become efficient roommates who coordinated school pickups and grocery runs. When he looked at me, I felt like he was checking off a box. Wife, present. Marriage, functional. Move on. Then there was Jordan. My boss. 42, recently divorced, the kind of man who listened when you spoke and remembered details. He asked about my ideas in meetings. He texted me articles he thought I'd like. He said things like, "You're wasted in this role, and I don't know how your husband lets you leave the house without telling you you're stunning." It felt like sunlight after years in a dim room. I started staying late at the office. I started dressing differently. I told myself it was professional ambition. I told myself Jordan was just being a good mentor. When my friends noticed, they didn't discourage it. They said things like, "You deserve to feel appreciated, and Ryan's lucky to have you, he should step up." Social media didn't help. I saw endless posts about women reclaiming their power, about not settling, about knowing your worth. I started to believe I'd been living small. I started to believe I deserved more. The night it happened, we'd been at a client dinner. Jordan had praised my pitch in front of everyone. Afterward, he suggested one more drink. Just us. I said yes. I didn't text Ryan. I silenced my phone. We talked about work, then about life, then about marriages that stopped feeling like partnerships. He told me his ex-wife had made him feel like a paycheck. I told him Ryan made me feel like a schedule. He said, "You're not a schedule. You're the whole event." That's when he leaned in. I could have stopped it. I should have. But I didn't. I kissed him back, and then I kept kissing him. We ended up at his apartment. I won't describe what happened, but I'll tell you this, I felt awake for the first time in years. I felt wanted. I felt like I mattered. I went home at 2 a.m. Ryan was asleep. Lily's nightlight glowed from down the hall. I stood in the doorway of our bedroom and felt nothing. No guilt. Not yet. Just a cold, electric thrill that I'd done something for myself. It kept happening. Once a week became twice a week became whenever we could. I started lying constantly. Late meetings. Work trips. Drinks with colleagues. Ryan didn't question it. He seemed almost relieved that I was busy, that I wasn't asking him for anything. I told myself he didn't care. I told myself he'd already checked out. I told myself this was just filling a void he'd created. Jordan started talking about the future. Vague things, like when things are different and we'd be good together. I never said I'd leave Ryan, but I didn't say I wouldn't. I lived in a fantasy where I could keep both lives. The stability of my marriage and the thrill of being seen. Then I got sloppy. I didn't delete a text. Jordan had sent me something sweet and slightly suggestive in the middle of a Saturday afternoon. I'd left my phone on the kitchen counter while I was upstairs. Lily had asked Ryan a question about her tablet, and he picked up my phone by mistake. He saw the message. He saw the name. He scrolled up. I came downstairs and he was standing in the kitchen holding my phone. His face was blank. Not angry. Not hurt. Just blank. Lily was in the living room watching cartoons. He handed me the phone and said, "Is this real?" I tried to lie. I said it was taken out of context. I said Jordan was just being friendly. Ryan didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just nodded slowly and said, "Okay." Then he walked upstairs, packed a bag, and told Lily he had to go help a friend with something. She hugged him. He held her for a long time. Then he left. He didn't come back that night. Or the next. He texted me once, "I need time. Don't contact me." I stood in the kitchen with my phone in my hand and felt the floor drop out from under me. Not because I'd lost him, but because I realized there was no version of this where I didn't lose everything. Ryan filed for divorce 6 weeks later. He didn't ask for an explanation. He didn't want to talk. He just wanted it done. I tried to reach out. I sent texts. I called. I showed up at his temporary apartment once. He opened the door, looked at me like I was a stranger, and said, "You don't get to do this. You don't get to make this about your feelings." Then he closed the door. Lily started asking questions. "Where's Dad? Why doesn't he live here? Are you getting divorced?" I tried to explain without explaining. I told her sometimes people grow apart. She's 8, not stupid. She asked, "Did you do something bad?" I didn't answer. That was the moment I saw her start to pull away from me. The custody arrangement gave Ryan primary custody. I got every other weekend and Wednesday dinners. The lawyer said it was because of my work schedule, but I knew the truth. Ryan had told his lawyer everything. He had the texts. He had dates. He had proof. I didn't fight it. How could I? Jordan ended things 2 months after Ryan left. He said it was too complicated now and that he needed to focus on his own situation. I realized, standing in his office while he avoided eye contact, that he'd never meant any of it. I wasn't special. I was available. He moved on. I heard through a coworker that he was seeing someone new within a month. Someone without baggage. My friends disappeared. Not all at once, but slowly. Invitations stopped coming. Group chats went quiet when I joined. One of them, Melissa, told me honestly over coffee, "I don't know how to be around you. You had everything and you just burned it down." And for what? A guy who didn't even stick around. I had no answer. She paid for her coffee and left. Ryan started dating someone 8 months after the divorce was finalized. Lily mentioned her casually one Wednesday. Dad's girlfriend made pancakes. I felt my stomach turn. Not because I wanted him back, but because I realized he was moving on. He was building something new. And I was still standing in the wreckage of what I destroyed. The girlfriend became the fiancée. Then the wife. Her name is Claire. She's a teacher. She's kind. Lily adores her. I know this because Lily talks about her constantly. Claire helped me with my science project. Claire taught me how to braid my hair. Claire says I'm really smart. Every mention is a reminder that I've been replaced. Not just as Ryan's partner, but as the person Lily turns to. Claire started taking Lily to therapy 6 months ago. Lily had been having trouble at school. Acting out. Withdrawing. I found out when Ryan sent me an email, not even a call, explaining that Lily was struggling with trust and stability issues related to the divorce. He didn't say it was my fault, but he didn't have to. The therapist's notes, which I was copied on per the custody agreement, mentioned maternal inconsistency and difficulty processing parental betrayal. My daughter is in therapy because I wanted to feel seen. I've tried to rebuild. I got a new job. I go to therapy myself. I've apologized to Lily more times than I can count, though she just nods and says okay in a voice that's polite and distant. She doesn't hug me anymore. She doesn't tell me about her day. When I drop her off after my weekends, she practically runs to Ryan's door. Claire opens it, smiles kindly at me, and takes Lily's hand. I drive away feeling like a ghost. People at work know. Not the details, but enough. I'm the woman who had an affair with her boss. I left that job, but the reputation followed me. I see it in the way colleagues keep conversations professional, surface level. I'm competent, but I'm not trusted. Not really. I wake up some nights and think about that first kiss. How easy it was. How inevitable it felt. How I told myself I deserved it. I think about all the small choices that led there, the late nights I didn't have to stay for, the texts I didn't have to answer, the lies I didn't have to tell. I think about how I believed the fantasy that I could have everything without losing anything. I didn't lose Ryan. I lost who I was. I lost my daughter's trust. I lost the version of my life where I was someone she could look up to. Claire is the one Lily calls when she's scared. Claire is the one she wants at her school events. I'm the obligation. The every other weekend mom who broke something that can't be fixed. There's no redemption arc here. No moment where Lily forgives me and we heal. Maybe someday. Maybe never. I've stopped expecting it. I just show up for my weekends, and I try to be present, and I live with the knowledge that I did this. Not Ryan. Not Jordan. Me. Some mistakes don't destroy you at once. They just hollow you out, piece by piece, until you're still breathing but nothing feels the way it used to. You don't get to be the person you were before. You just get to be the person who made the choice, and then you live with it. Every single day. Forever.